Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to reading for the week of January 16th, I think. We're going to jump right in here, and we are going to see what is going on for you in your current general energies. You have this snake card that says desire and attraction. You also have this abundance and luck card, this fish card, which, could be you. I feel like it's like you have a very strong desire to increase your abundance, and there is clearly a lot of desire this week. You have the Ace of Wands, and you have the Ace of Cups as well. Ace of Cups is the desire for fulfillment, and again, this doesn't have to be love for you, Pisces. This is not a bad thing. It kind of looks like you're trying to create stability, though. Some of you could be, learning about saving money or doing better things with your money, or kind of making your money work for you, stuff like that. All that stuff makes perfect sense. Jupiter going into your second house, are you kidding me? Now is the time to figure all that out, Pisces, because if you do, then, I don't know, you'll probably be able to retire very quickly, right? So, again, I feel like this has a lot to do with, like, your desire to work on certain things. I do feel like you're holding yourself back a little bit. You actually have this rhino spirit coming up next that says overcome any obstacle. Like, I literally feel that nothing can hold you back right now except for you, Pisces. And I would also say, as always, getting started. I say this because you have the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. You go from the Ace of Cups, Six of Pentacles to the Five of Wands, which is like, you have something that could bring you a lot of fulfillment. It could be like a project, a business you want to start, could even be a relationship. But you have the Six of Pentacles, which is like needing to get started. Six of Pentacles is a card of needing to start planting those seeds, needing to get moving forward. Five of Wands is like, oh, do I really do it? Should I do it? Too many questions, right? Too much future thinking is what I'm getting here. You have the Ace of Wands kicking it off. So again, your desires are clearly very important. I would also say, Ace of Wands is my card of out with the old, in with the new. You can see this castle here is crumbling. That represents the old. The wand represents the new. Pretty simple, right? So I would be focusing on new opportunities in every area of your life. And look, if you just focus on this top row, that's all you need right here. So if you focus on your desires, it's going to lead to fulfillment, success, abundance, your happily ever after. Ten of Cups is, happy home, happy family, but it can just be your happily ever after, whatever that means for you. That's something different for all of us. But again, you have to get started. Three of Wands is like waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment to do something. And so, one thing I've learned over the years is that time really doesn't change anything. Like, if you start something now, it's not going to be any different than if you started in the future. Sometimes I always say on the Five of Wands, which is your last card, if something is meant for you, it's for you. It doesn't matter, like, when you start something, if it's a retrograde, if it's not a retrograde. It doesn't matter if you shoot your shot with a person. It's like whether you feel like you're ready or not, right? So I feel like it's time for you to take action. And I said this to you in your next 3-month reading, I think, Pisces, that really, your next 20 years is very important. It's very important, I feel, for you to end cycles that repeat themselves. I feel like it's very important that you really become bold and assertive, and you don't run away from things that, will lead to growth in your life, but you don't do them anyway. Like, trust me, I'm not picking on you here. This is like my life story. I'm a Pisces. I get it. But I'm very, very focused on changing my story. So, what I would say here is, like, how can you change your story to be more bold, to be more assertive, to really get what you want? Again, the feeling of, being brave, I think, will surprise you. I think the feeling of being confident, like, what that leads for you mentally, like, what it does for you. Who cares about anybody else? I think what it does for you is what's going to be surprising here, going up to the Six of Wands to the Ten of Cups. I kind of feel like it will give you this feeling of being on top of the world. So, and I'm not trying to be dramatic here. I'm pretty sure I said exactly the same thing in your next 3-month reading. But, and here's the thing. I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, oh, this is gonna be so easy. No, this looks like, you're gonna be putting in the work. But if you do it, again, if you do the work, your life will never be the same again. So I would do the work, Pisces. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Three of Swords here. Some of you could be going through a heartbreak or a separation with something that you thought you once wanted. But, like, I really feel like you need to let whatever this is go. Ten of Swords, Four of Pentacles, holding on too tightly to something from the past, something that brings conflict right here with the Five of Wands. So, I think that this was just, if you are letting go of something that was a heartbreak, I feel this was just purely maybe kind of emotional, sexual, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like there's like true love coming in for you here. Something much better, something with someone who's serious. With the Three of Wands, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores, major improvements. I do feel like you're leaving a lot behind. Normally the woman and the child in this boat on the Six of Swords, they are kind of moving across choppy waters with nothing but the clothing on their back. So they're making like a complete sacrifice. They're completely starting over. And a couple of things. Number one, do we ever really completely start over? No, because if you're smart, you don't even have to be that smart. We start over from a position of wisdom. You should be at least bringing forward the lessons that you've learned wherever you are starting over in life. But number two, I feel like you're kind of moving towards calmer shores. It's like whatever you feel like you should be doing, I would do it with this Three of Wands. It kind of gives me the vibes with the Ten of Swords next to it of like not wanting something to end. And I'm not saying that something is ending. I just feel like you can see the writing on the wall in this situation, and maybe you're saying to yourself, I better, get things going in another direction. I'll give you an example, right? It's like they're making all these changes on YouTube and things like that, demonetizing people for like the most ridiculous stuff. And I see the writing on the wall, right? They're talking about recession, all this other stuff, which to me says advertisers are getting more and more strict about what they want because they obviously want to make money, right? And they are trying to trim their budgets and everything like that. So if I had a YouTube channel, right, I would be diversifying here, people. If you have a YouTube channel, just a little friendly advice, right? Take it or leave it. But what I would say here is I'd be diversifying. I'd be coming up with other things and working on other things just in case. I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but you're a Pisces. You can probably sense it before it does happen. Don't sit around, don't sit on your hands and wait. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Temperance card. I feel like you're very attractive at this time, Pisces. So if you're wanting love, definitely could be love coming in for you. And again, a very strong card of transformation. So I feel like you have the opportunity to really transform your life. You have this Rhino spirit, and we're going to be looking at what you need to know right now. And it says overcome any obstacle. So it doesn't matter what obstacle is in your way. It doesn't matter how big the obstacle is. You can overcome this obstacle. I always say, like, if you told me, just 3.5 years ago that I would be where I am right now, 4 years ago, I would have told you that you're crazy. I never thought in a million years that, number one, I would have this many subscribers, but number two, that just that my life would change so quickly. I mean, again, I'm not saying this to brag, but what I am saying is that, 3-4 years ago, whatever it was, like my life changed like literally in a year, like complete, 180, 360. It was actually like a couple of 360s. Someone said a 360 is a circle, but actually it's a corkscrew. You're going up, Pisces, here, right? So a 360 is a good thing. You're corkscrewing up. But what I would say here is that, again, I never thought that it was possible until it happened. So, again, you never know. And the other thing is that, just looking at this reading, it's like you've done the work. So it's not like your life is just changing for no reason, for the better here. It's because you've done the work. You have the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Six of Cups. I do feel like something is dead done over with here with the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is something being dead done over with. It could be a past connection with the Six of Cups here. Six of Cups, although I kind of feel like this is a new connection coming in for you, just based off the fact that you have this right here. 2 sixes, which is my favorite. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that to me, 2 sixes says you're going in the right direction. And then 10 of Cups, like true love. So if you are leaving something behind from the past, I feel like you're heading towards true love. Some of you could be thinking about the past here, but again, I feel like this either brought you conflict or it was like holding on to nothing, basically, is what is popping into my head. Like maybe you were holding on to a relationship where you weren't getting anything. I feel like you were being breadcrumbed. It kind of feels like someone was maybe even leading you on, kind of like keeping you stuck in a pattern with them while they were maybe off doing something else. So I would be very careful of this, of a person trying to return here. I feel like, and here's the thing, is that the Ten of Swords can represent blessings. He's making a symbol right here. It's the same symbol that the Hierophant is making right here. And it represents blessings. So it's like someone sees you getting your blessings and maybe they want a piece of that. So I'd be careful, Pisces. You do have the Ace of Cups, which is your emotions overflowing. I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. And again, I'm seeing this as different. For those of you that want love, sorry, I picked the wrong one. But for those of you that want love, right here, I'm seeing this as 2 different love situations. One that's very physical and one that's actually like true love right here, the Ace of Cups. So I feel like there's like true love coming in for you if you want it. Again, for all of you, even if you do want love, but for all of you, I really feel this is talking about kind of moving more towards that Ten of Cups, as in, Ten of Cups is it's like your It's what you see as your dream life, right? It is like your happily ever after, whatever that is for you. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign coming in for some of you, but I also feel this is asking you to be resourceful. Again, I'm pretty sure I said this in your third quarter reading. I have the same message popping into my head. My first thought wouldn't be money. Like if I was trying to grow my business, for example, that doesn't mean you can't use money. I want to stress that, right? I would just say, like, look for another option first. Like, can you trade services with a person to help you grow your business? Maybe the economy doesn't get very bad, right? Maybe things stay like they are kind of right now, although I don't know. But what I would say is maybe it doesn't, but when an opportunity for you to presents itself, like in the future for your business to invest money or to do something like that, you'll have it. And I feel like that's critically important for you, Pisces, that you have just like a little bit of extra cash on the side. I feel for an opportunity. It could be like an opportunity to move, to travel, and I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Sun. Happiness, you're going towards happiness. The Sun, the Ten of Swords is, kind of a card of the sun rising. The sun is rising in the background, and here you go. So I feel like after heartbreak, some of you could be experiencing a lot of happiness here going in this direction, and even this direction, of course, as well. With the Six of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of boundaries. I think you've drawn a line in the sand with that Six of Cups with a person. And so Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that you know what you want to do, when you believe something so deeply that it becomes a part of you, then you're going to be successful. But again, I also feel this could be like a line in the sand that you're drawing here, and I do feel it is going to be a good thing for you, obviously. But I would also say whatever, this right here, this Ten of Cups, whatever that means for you, Pisces, it could be anything. It could be having a business, starting a family, could be both of those things. Whatever you see as your ultimate version of your life, it needs to become a part of you. It needs to be, you need to live it and breathe it, right? So again, I don't know what you want. I can't tell you what to do, but you're gonna have to like think about it. But what can you start doing that would, attract more of that energy of what you want to you? And again, you're gonna have to put your thinking cap on, but I think you could be very successful if you do that. Next, we're going to look at the unexpected, if there is anything unexpected coming in for you. It says, you're going to master your material reality in the future. There you go, Pisces. You have this, perfection card. It says, you will do much better than expected. Love it. Show yourself compassion and be kind to yourself. Definitely super important. But again, I think what's unexpected is that you're going to, as this card says, do much better than you expected. Are you kidding? There you go. You have the Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles. I love 2 6s, and the Four of Pentacles right here. So 2 6s to me is like confirmation for your path. It just says that you're going in the right direction. I think that some of you might be having a hard time getting started like on a goal, wish, or dream because there's nothing to compare it to, Pisces. I mean, we have Neptune and Pisces. We're about to have Saturn move into Pisces this year as well. And what I'd say is it's like there's nothing for Pisces to be like, oh, this person over here did exactly what I'm thinking about, so I can compare myself in my progress. Not that we should be comparing to anyone. This is the card of comparing yourself to competition, right? And I don't think you should compare yourself, number one. Number two, there is no one to compare yourself to. So again, if you have an idea, a goal, a wish, a dream that no one else has ever done, that is your confirmation. That is exactly what you should be doing is what I'm getting here because number one, I feel like you will be doing much better than expected, as that card says. I think the trick here is Six of Pentacles. I think this has been a trick for you for like 3 years now. But this is what, literally, this is what I do. Look at my channel. I literally make 1% improvements every single video. If you notice, like, just look at my channel, like every single video, there is something different about pretty much every single video. And guess what? I track that like a nerd, right? I have spreadsheets and everything. I pay attention to every single little change that I make because I want to know what works, right? Some things work, some things don't. But that's what the Six of Pentacles is. It's about making those improvements, looking at what's growing. It's a card of planting seeds, looking at what's growing in your life, and then doubling down on those things that grow and getting out of a comfort zone, right? It's like when we do the same thing that we did yesterday, we're stuck. My favorite quote of all time from John Taffer. So I feel like you need to set yourself free and stop doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? In all areas of your life. But I really feel this is talking about action, needing to take action towards like some sort of Ten of Cups. With the Six of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles here. You have a lot of earth here, so it could be an earth sign that's coming in for you if you want love, but also a card of action. Normally, the Knight of Pentacles is not taking action. He's literally the only card in the tarot that represents like, well, not the only card, but he's the only knight that represents not taking action. So it is time for you to take action on something. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands here. This is like marriage, and you have the Hierophant right next to it. So if you're attracting love, you could be meeting a person that you'll marry in the future. Again, wouldn't surprise me this year, just based off your astrology. If you're meeting a person this year, it would not surprise me if you met the person that you're going to marry. But on top of that, this could be commitment. Again, you have the Seven of Wands like this. So you have the Seven of Wands to the Four of Wands. Both cards represent commitment. Like I said, in believing something very deeply, that's what's going to lead to the Ten of Cups. And that, again, that could be anything. With the Four of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. I would be doing whatever you can to create teamwork with someone else because I'm telling you right now, I think that just based off the astrology, teamwork is kind of where it's at. Finally, for messages from your future self, you have this Talisman card. It says you are destined to succeed. Again, this is one hell of a reading, Pisces. Love it. Definitely good stuff coming in for you. But you have the Ten of Cups, which is kind of like fortune after difficulty, the Hierophant, and the Five of Wands. I do feel that this is like, again, like I already said, I feel like your future self is saying, like, don't compare yourself to, and number one, there is nothing to compare yourself to. There's nothing, there's nothing where, I think if you have an idea, especially, there's nothing where you can be like, oh, that's exactly how this is going to turn out for me, especially with Neptune and Pisces. Nothing goes according to plan with Neptune and Pisces. It's a bad thing, but it's also a good thing because it's bad for your competition because they won't be able to keep up with what you're doing. It's good for you because they won't be able to keep up with what you're doing. So, but it's also bad for you because, again, maybe you're afraid to get started on something like a project, business, whatever, but I would get moving. You have the Hierophant here. Hierophant is a card of marriage. So some of you could be meeting a person that you're going to marry in the future. It's also a card of, like, ascension. It's a card of, he's the bridge between the heavens and the earth. And that's kind of what's popping into my head here for you, Pisces, is that you could be kind of receiving downloads. But these are, I really feel these are kind of like ideas from your higher self or whatever you want to call it. And these ideas need to be brought down to earth. So don't be afraid to share your ideas. It's kind of like what I'm getting here. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, good things coming in after a difficult period of time. It's also happy home, happy family, but again, it's also like your happily ever after. I like to remind people that, the whole point of this card is that these people are standing in the real world. They still have to deal with all the problems and issues and challenges that everybody else has to deal with, but they're choosing to be happy. They're choosing to focus on what they want, not what they don't want. So it doesn't matter what's going on around you. Focus on exactly what you want, not on what you don't want, right? Let's see. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Damn. I love this combination. To me, it's probably one of the best combinations you can get. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. Are you kidding? I like the Ten of Cups, but to me, the Ten of Pentacles is basically the Ten of Cups times 10. So this is really good. The Ten of Pentacles is a tree of life. It's everything you want and desire to have in your life. As I always say, this is like a living, breathing thing. It's like we don't always want the same thing all at once, right? And the things that we want change. So, this is something that can grow, that can change, but it's something that I think is definitely a good thing to work towards, basically building and leaving a legacy, which is probably going to be a major thing, a major theme for you, especially like this year. Then Jupiter is going to enter into your third house in Taurus with Uranus. So like the next 2 or so years are going to be major focus for you on building and leaving a legacy. I almost just threw that. With the Hierophant, you have the Strength card. I feel like you've been very patient. I feel like some of you have been through it in relationships, and, I kind of feel like you're in this position of just being like, whatever, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, again, how funny is it that I said if something's for you, it's for you, and this is your true purpose. So wherever you're thinking there's like competition or too much competition or anything like that, I don't really think it's true, Pisces. I think that, there might be competition. That might be true, but again, I think that it's basically saying that what's for you is for you. So we're going to pull 5 main themes now, and you have this Torch card. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. It could definitely be like a rite of passage. It can represent going through a difficult period of time. 10 of Swords right next to it to get to the other side. So I feel some of you have been through a rite of passage. You have this Apple card. It says temptation will test you. I would be careful of anyone coming back from the past. 6 of Cups, Judgment, 5 of Wands, like they're coming back for conflict. I would just, avoid that at all costs. Especially, I'm shooting this on the 8th of whatever this month is, January. I don't know. I'm getting over the flu, Pisces, so bear with me. I'm still a little bit loopy, but it's the 8th. I can see it now. And, again, Mercury retrograde, so I'd be careful of that. You have this man card that says dealings or relationships with a man. You have this bell that says announcement. It could be any gender. This is a general reading, and I always say I don't attach gender to my card, so it could be a man, woman, whatever, but there could be communication or announcement coming in here. Can we get more detail on what that might be? Shield, it says you need to defend yourself. It could be like a past person, so I would protect yourself there, Pisces. You have this kangaroo. It says unsettled times need to plan. Remember what I was saying, that, whether there's a recession or not, I don't care, right? What I do care about is that you pay attention and that you don't waste money on things that you don't need. Like, do you need another car? Do you need the car that you have right now? It's like, I would just be thinking smart, mostly so that you can put yourself in a good position. I'm sure you've all seen, like, everybody and their mother on YouTube is doing a video about how, like, this once in a lifetime chance to get rich. Well, it's like, yeah, it's annoying that everyone's doing a video on that, but it's also true. Like, if there's a recession and there's a major collapse, you might maybe want a couple of bucks to be able to, like, invest in something or, do whatever, and I think that would be a good thing for you. You have this bow card. It says you are highly thought of. Yeah, you have the Six of Wands, which is a card of being highly thought of. So I think people in your life are thinking very highly of you, but I think this is only the beginning. It's like you're really going to be seen as being a leader here, Pisces, but damn. It's probably one of the better readings that you've had in a while. I really like where this is going. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.